Chapter 13, and if you're listening to this straight after 12, we're dipping straight into Kuwait, to Amina's childhood. Let's go! What are you, some sort of assassin? I didn't hear you at all. My heart sinks at the familiar words. This is what happened last time, but I suppose I should have expected that as I'd followed the cat again. I watched the scene play out for a few seconds before I decided to go back inside and try another room. Maybe then I'll see something new. I crossed the courtyard again and retraced my steps back to the kitchen. It looks different today, more worn. There are cracks in the walls and floor that stretch through the hall and up the stairs. Some of the ceiling has crumbled in places, leaving chunks of cement everywhere. The heartbeat is much fainter too, and I just know it's to do with what the doctor said. I hadn't realised that. It's really fascinating that the iller her mum gets, the more the house in Kuwait and the memories is going to fall down. That's brilliant. I'm worried that the house will turn to dust before I have the chance to understand what is happening. Out of nowhere, wisps of smoke appear above my head. I blink once, twice, and wonder whether my eyes are playing tricks on me. On my third blink, the smoke takes shape. A bird swoops down around my face, its wings fluttering delicately. I twirl round and follow it. I hold my hand out and try to touch it, but every time I do, it flies just out of reach. Soon I'm facing the staircase again. I breathe in the bird's smoky scent, and I'm reminded of Mum. Every so often she would pull out this wooden pot shaped like a bird and light tiny pieces of coal in its open beak. She called it bakor and explained to me that her mum did the same when she was young to cleanse the room of old smells. But I know Mum did it mostly when she was stressed, as if she wanted to smoke away the bad feelings too. She would walk round the house, and after that her flat, the smoke trailing behind her like a ghost. Today I followed the smoke up the winding staircase, bypassing the living room on the first floor, where I first met Amina, Zaina and Mama. I peek through some of the doors which lead to bathrooms and bedrooms, but something tells me they're not where I'm supposed to be going, because the smoke keeps flying up. At the very top of the house, the smoke stops in front of a closed door. I realise the gentle drumming of the house is louder here, like this is where its heart lies. I wrap my fingers around the cool metal of the doorknob. I twist and twist, but it doesn't budge. I frown and try again. Odd. Why is this door locked? There's a large crack in it, and the wood has splintered in places, like the walls that are crumbling in the kitchen and the photos that hang faded on the walls. I peer through the crack and find a weld of bright blue and purple. There's a great big wardrobe, clothes spilling out of it at one end, and an old school television at the other. That's when I realise it's another bedroom. At the centre of the room is a small wooden bed, and sleeping in the bed is a woman. It takes me a few seconds to realise it's Mum. I can tell by her wild hair. But it's not 13-year-old Amina this time. It's actual grown-up Mum. Weird. My heart flips and twirls and dances like a leaf in the wind. I gasp and step back, leaning against the banister to hold myself up. The smoke twirls me round, spinning me away from the door before trailing down the stairs. I watch it go for a moment before turning back and peering through the door again. As I put my hands up to the door, the drumming feels louder, more desperate, like it's willing me to go inside. Or is it warning me? Without realising it, I call for her. Mum! I say, Mum, wake up! But she doesn't move. I try the door again, but it doesn't budge. Before I can try it once more, the house starts to fade as I'm pulled back to the hospital. First the roof, then the walls, and finally the floor. I feel my world start to crumble and I scream as I tumble down, 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 like Alice when she falls into the rabbit hole. It's a very short chapter, we've ended it there, but I am going to stop the video here because I want us to think that's different. Normally it's been like flashbacks, but this time there's a mysterious room at the top where she can see her mother asleep. There must be some symbolism there. What's happening? Let's have a think on that before we start chapter 14.